Well, it's been a late start for me to turn on the camera this morning. Had quite a bit of trout being caught already this morning. Just kind of searching for some different species besides trout or a larger trout, but been a lot of dinks. Only a few decent size, and man, these are the ones, the small ones are the ones that make a bunch of mess. And it was a small one that kind of gave me some hassle and hooked myself a little bit in the finger. So it's been an interesting morning already with a little bit of trout between 17 and 18 inches, getting hooked in the finger, having to deal with some dense fog. Oh, there's a fish on. Just so many trout. Oh, some aerobatic trout. That's how you get water all over your lens and gear. This guy, that's how you get hooked in the finger. So tons of trout so far. If I catch a flounder, I'll be looking for a slam. A Texas slam. Flounder is going to be the hardest species today. The red should be pretty easy to pick up, hopefully. Or I could be wrong. But there's so many trout, it's so thick. Oh, yeah, that's alright. With the water temps being this cold, I figure the fish should be biting on a very slow retrieve, being a little bit lethargic. And here in Texas, it's not very much of a winter right now. Probably about mid-70s, mid to high 70s. And it is the later part of the December. So very good weather. Some low water temps, probably about low 70s, high 60s. Fish have been caught on a quick retrieve. Nothing substantial to say that I've slowed down a lot. It's been a while since I've actually made a video as well. I'm still alive and kicking, but we had a few cold spells that came through and fishing had been very tough. Didn't want to put up anything that was kind of boring. Went on a hunting trip. Was gonna record that, but being my first hunting trip and how chaotic and quick pace it was, just didn't have any time to throw up the camera and shoot anything. So hopefully I can get some more footage. I know the season's kind of winding down with the cold weather. We'll get a moderate cold front. The fish kind of lay down for a while. The temps jump back up to high 70s, low 80s, and fishing turns back on. But today it was on earlier this morning. Oh, okay. I had a fish on and trying to put that camera on. There's some dolphins tearing up some fish. I'm getting a few bites here. There's a decent trout. It's not very decent. It's a tiny little guy. They get much bigger than this. That's exactly how I got a hook to the freaking hand this morning, or the finger. See what a swim bait will do for me. Pretty fast retrieve for a swim bait right this time of year, but like I said, we're in Texas and there's a hit. With those sharp hooks, you really don't have to lean into them too much. To get a good hook set. Oh, hook went through. I don't know. So moderate to fast retrieve for this temperature of water isn't bad. So that just might be the key. It was running a little too slow with my other bait. This retrieve kind of switches things up for them a bit. There's a nice edge of grass right here that goes into sand and then drops off, so I guess when I was in the middle of explaining, I had a fish on. Like I was saying, there was that grass line that's there that goes into a sand flat and then drops off into the bay here on my left side. So just any bait fish that's coming out of the grass into that sand area is become prey for any predator that's kind of lurking around. That's where I guess I should have been paying more attention. You can see some bait moving there, so thank you, bird. Showing me at least that there's some bait fish that are hanging around, and there's fish around here. Usually there's always predator fish when there's prey fish, so that's always a good sign. It's kind of hard to tell. And ooh, right where I cast my lure, just something was busted right out of the water. So I'll make some passes around here and see what I can do. See what I can do with this bait. Am I even recording? Only in Texas will you have weather like this. It was a perfectly good day. All of a sudden, out of the blue, here comes a little fog cloud rolling in. Kind of looks spooky and eerie. You can see the sun hanging around above the this fog. But it's an interesting way to fish, and I'll leave my camera rolling. If it gets any more foggier, I'm gonna have to run my little light, my safety light, so I don't get hit by a boat. A lot of these guys out here don't have any courtesy at all, and they like to floor their boats around, not look at what their surrounding is. There's a fish. Oh, fish off, fish on, and fish off. I hadn't been getting very many bites with my swim bait, so I went back to a twitch, my suspended twitch bait. Been having some interesting things happen here. A lot of my bites on this twitch bait have been from the pause and letting it just kind of sit there. I've had probably about 4 or 5 blow-ups, and thinking that they were big fish, and the way that they've eaten it just kind of shows me that they're hungry. I don't know why. I've been in the same area. Nothing worked with a swim bait, so as soon as I switched to the twitch bait, started getting all my hits. But the fog has kind of rolled in. It's kind of hard to see, kind of get your sense of direction. A little difficult, so I've been having to use my phone. These guys in front of me, I think they've been there for a while. Been hooking up on small trout, nothing too impressive. Well, the fishing today was interesting nonetheless. Making my way back in, or at least trying to find my way back in with this dense fog. It's a little hard to navigate, but a lot of these boats run up along the shoreline, so hopefully I don't get smacked by one. If I do, this is probably going to be the last video ever, but let's hope not. I'll be posting more videos hopefully during my break off of work. Getting some fishing in. As I mentioned before, the fishing's been kind of slow. Today it was nice considering that it was 80 something degrees outside during winter here in Texas. So days like today, it's great to come out and try to catch some fish and make a good video, but at the same time, once it gets cold, the filming becomes a lot tougher. So I'll probably start doing maybe some hunting videos or some shooting range videos or something, some clay shooting, some quail hunts or dove or duck hunts. Give that a shot, see how that works out and pans out. But as for today, I think I'm calling it quits. Heading back in midday, mid-afternoon, and I'll see you next time.